Okay. Thank you. So he's not playing for Chivas in Liga MX. David Goss here for MLSsoccer.com from a sunny and I guess you could call it breezy Frisco, Texas for the third and final day of the group stage of the 2016 Generation Adidas Cup competition from Toyota Soccer Center. We'll be bringing you this afternoon 2 games that could decide their groups and decide which teams go on into the semifinals. In the first one, here in the Premier Division, the Chicago Fire facing off against Liga MX opposition in Chivas de Guadalajara. Chicago Fire coming in here on 3 points. Chivas coming in first place in group competition, coming in now at 6 points. Orlando City also sitting on 3 points. They're facing off against Seattle back behind us. We'll keep you updated on all the other scores as they go along with 3 games going on around us. 4 games already happening this morning. And the keynote match here, the Chicago Fire against Chivas. The Fire coming in off a first game victory, a 1-0 win over the Seattle Sounders. They fell to Orlando City 3-1 in the second match. Chivas has had an easy going so far, a 4-0 opening game victory over Orlando City, and then a 3-1 win over the Seattle Sounders in their second match. The temperature has risen about 65 degrees today, up about 10 degrees from the last 2 days of competition, but the wind has kicked up over 25 miles per hour. It's affecting the games. It's knocking over cameras and stations as well as players at times, and it will be a huge factor in the game here today. Chicago Fire will get us started. They will kick off in their home red jerseys. Chivas Guadalajara, not in their traditional stripes, wearing the full blue jerseys. Chivas currently playing in Liga MX U17 competition, sitting in 11th place in that tournament out of 17 teams. And, of course, their first team, the big squad, losing to America just a week ago in the Nacional Clásico of Mexico. As we are ready to get started, Chicago Fire knocking it around the back. Kyler Orsic in goal. He has started both games as he collides, able to keep possession, and now picks it up. A dangerous opening seconds for Chicago. Around the back, Brandon Addison Tate at right back. Taylor Krul, who started every single game, number 5, playing that ball forward from right center back. Michael Silver at left center back, and Braden Calipari at left back, returning from a 1-game suspension due to a red card in the opening match victory. In the diamond midfield, you see on the right side there David Portugal, Sebastian Padua at the base. Alan Salmoran will play in the attacking midfield, and out on the left side, Vitalis Takawira, the son of former Sporting KC forward Vitalis Takawira. Up top, Khalid Hunter has a goal in this competition, and Christian Marquez will play alongside him at right forward. Chivas with the wind at their back in the first half. The wind's going from right to left across your screens, which means that Chicago will have to work hard. We've actually seen in the first game the wind heavily affect games, but teams going against the wind at times being even more successful, being forced to play the ball on the ground and keep possession a little bit more. In goal for Chivas is Johan Sosa. Across the back line, Leo Cortez, Benjamin Galindo at center back alongside Gilberto Sepúlveda. At left back, Fernando Torres. Luis Rodriguez is the holding mid in a 3-man midfield with Juan Perez and Omar Beltran. And across the front, attacking 3, Diego Hernandez, Hugo Jaquez, and up top, Jose Macias. The leading goal scorer so far for this team is Macias, getting out to a great start in this tournament. 3 goals against Orlando City, and then another one against Seattle for 4 in the competition. He is the danger man to watch. Shot comes in from Takawira. From Hunter, and that one flashes just wide. Good early start here for the Chicago Fire. This competition, every other day, games have been played. On the off days, the team's opportunity, every game being recorded besides our live stream, so they get a chance to watch game tape, learn how to prepare for an opponent, recognize weaknesses, and set up game plans. Chicago going here with a diamond midfield, which they have not played throughout the tournament. They feel like they can put pressure on Chivas, pressure that Chivas hasn't experienced. Shot comes in here, and just wide of that far post. And you see immediately the ability there. Diego Hernandez coming off the wing with the out-footed shot. Hernandez doing a good job clipping in. It's a 4-3-3 to start out for Chivas, and so those outside forwards on that front line have the freedom to come in field and help connect with Macias and create. Chivas bringing in a team of almost all 1999 birth dates. Commonly, these older teams a little bit older than the MLS teams. Takawira on the ball here. Takawira, one of a few players on the Chicago team who went with a U15 squad down to Mexico City to play in a Liga Bancomer tournament at the Azteca. So those players bring a little bit of experience against Mexican opposition to this team. I'm sure you'll be able to hear the wind ripping through all afternoon on our broadcasts. If you hear a small but subtle scream, that's probably me being blown away. This is our Texas moment here. Chivas has been dominant in their performances, as you can guess from the score lines, as Macias now coming in, and the save finally made here by Arciach. Big save there for this Chicago team. Chivas, we expect with the win at their back now, starting to put on pressure. Arciach has started and played every minute of this game. The two Chicago has swapped heavily from the first to the second game, their lineup, to give everyone the opportunity to get some playing time and try some different players out here. Cross comes in, the left-footed service, the header in. Arciach with the second save and alive on the goal line, and he cannot finish. The one man you think would, Jose Macias, right on the doorstep. Arciach down on the ground. He made the first save and was able to clamber to the ball just ahead of the Chivas striker. So Chicago dodging a few bullets here. Khalid Hunter with the first look at the game for the Fire. Now they try and stay alive. The turnover in a bad, dangerous area. Chivas immediately on the attack. Hernandez once again with the outside of the foot shot. Can't direct it on goal. This the initial save off the corner. Arciach able to get an outstretched hand to it. Chicago Fire, one of the teams that's been able to push homegrown players through their academy and into Major League Soccer. Multiple homegrowns on the team that have played in this competition before. A few players that are playing youth national team games on this squad for Chicago. One of the more successful academies, national champions at this age group last year. Looking to find a way potentially to get into the semifinals and put a name on a GA Cup Premier Division trophy as well. Chivas, of course, legendary youth academy themselves in Mexico, one of the premier academies. They only have ever had Mexican players appear for their first team, so because of that, they've had to build one of the strongest academies to consistently bring players in without the ability to go out and buy like some of the other clubs. Salmoran gets it out wide to Takawira. Still alive in the final third. These are precious opportunities for Chicago. This Chivas team has been dominant. Against Orlando, they had 112 passes in the final third, only 62 going to their opponent in Orlando. So Chicago will have to take advantage of every final third opportunity they get. Great work around down the end line here. A chance to get a shot away. The left-footed shot coming off the foot there of Padua. Just wide. Good work for the Fire to open up some space on that end line and set up a shooting opportunity. Chicago going toe-to-toe here with Chivas. As I said, that Chivas team, 11 championships, tied for first all-time in Liga MX history. Chicago puts that pressure on high up the field. They're able to force the turnover. Padua now, off that shot attempt, plays it back. A dangerous back pass, though. Chivas now a chance to counter. Orsic with the first save. The second chance now for Macias. He can't get it on goal. That one goes wide of the far post. Looked like Macias, if he played that one square across the face of goal, had a teammate open for a tap-in. Chicago Fire once again getting caught in the back. Good 1-2 there. Takawira now making the run up the line. Ball bouncing around, and now Chivas able to get it back under control. This Chivas Academy has created some of the biggest names in Mexican soccer. Currently, Carlos Vela and Chicharito Hernandez, both coming through the Chivas Academy. Chicharito's grandfather, a Chivas player as well. His father was a youth coach at Guadalajara. Carlos Salcedo and Maza Rodriguez were both players that came through the Chivas Academy as well. One of the most well-renowned academies in the world. You see wearing those numbers 1 through just about 210 for this team to show where they stand in the club. Chivas has a reserve squad that plays at their home field. The numbers go up from there, from the first team 1 through 30 and on. You can see there number 209, the highest on the field this afternoon in Luis Rodriguez. Allows the players to know where they stand in the first team, or in regards to the first team, and their potential future as professionals. Chicago doing a great job putting on high pressure. Able to round the goalkeeper here. A chance to shoot and off the post. And saved. Christian Marquez able to spring on that back pass. Still alive now for the Fire. And now Chivas looking to counter. Marquez with the best opportunity of the game so far there. Hitting the post for the Fire. Now Chivas looking to make them pay. The long shot coming in and just over the top. End-to-end stuff here in the first 10 minutes of the first stream of the day on MLSsoccer.com. Chicago Fire and Chivas Guadalajara going toe-to-toe. Marquez able to round Sosa, the goalkeeper, trying to cut it back to his favored right foot and get an angle to shoot. And he bangs that one off the post, and then Chivas goes back the other way and rips a shot high over the crossbar. Fantastic opening sequence here for these two teams. Chivas has space out wide if they can find it. Good work from Chicago to turn it over. Takawira now has his head up. Plays it back to Krul for help. Chicago going toe-to-toe here. Not looking scared. Managed today by Gonzalo Segares. Chicago Fire, legend as a player, Costa Rican international. Part of what is this growing contingent of youth coaches throughout MLS academies who have heavy experience playing in MLS. Padua sprays that one wide. Almost snuck through there for Portugal. Portugal and Takawira, both US U14 and U15 international call-ups, swapping wings as we've moved into this game. Good work from Addison Tate to come back and help. Marquez can't get a touch to that one. Addison Tate, once again, one of the youngest players on this team, but a physical presence at right back, coming away with the steal, forcing the throw-in in favor of Chicago. Great opening 13 minutes here of action. Great start for this Fire Academy team as they look to settle in. Hunter trying to lay it off for his teammate. Chicago going with this 4-4-2 diamond, hoping that the two forwards, as well as the more advanced center midfielders, would be able to put pressure on the Chivas backline, not show them too much respect that the Chicago Fire coaching staff felt they saw throughout the first two games. And so far, you have to say it's been effective. A lot of times, MLS teams in this tournament have played with deep backlines, allowing the opposition to knock it around at the midfield line, knock it around inside their own half. But Chicago going toe-to-toe so far. In their first game, Chivas against Orlando had over 58% possession, dominating the game. Over 305 passes. That was to Orlando's 208, and I already told you the final third numbers as well. Just an example of the total dominance for Chivas, including in aerial duels and tackles and physical duels. And Chicago doing a good job coming out here, not showing too much respect and standing toe-to-toe with their opposition. Padua, back to Cruel. Cruel, good ball, sprays it out wide right to Takawira into the wind. He's able to get it there. Takawira facing up. Cross comes in. Hunter was on the ground already. To be alone, possibly just to slip up. Calipari stepping up there. Good one, too. Calipari's touch just a little bit long. And overtaken there by Galindo. Galindo with the ball down the line. Perfect ball from him. Chance to race one-on-one in here. Jacarez with the shot to the far post. And he scores it against the run of play. Hugo Jacarez puts his toe down, screws that one into the corner, and Chivas Guadalajara have a 1-0 lead. Great opportunities on both ends for these two teams in the opening 15 minutes to score. Chicago starting to control the ball, knock around possession in the midfield, and immediately Galindo jumps on the steal, plays it up the line to Jaquez, and he's able to put it home after all of the chances that Orsic has turned away in that one. Killer opportunity to give that one up just inside the box, the right-footed shot to that far post. See here once again, far off that right side. Looks like it just dips at the last minute under the outstretched hands of Orsic and allows Chivas to take the lead for the third time this tournament. They take the opening goal in the game. Against Seattle in the second game, it was an own goal 9 minutes in that gave them the lead before they raced out to a 3-1 lead, eventually giving up a goal on the rebound after a saved penalty kick for the Sounders. Adamson Tate handling the pressure well. Now Marquez dropping very deep to pick up the ball. This compliment to Chicago's ability to play high up the field. You don't want to get stuck in your own half now just after you've conceded. Cross to come in here from Chivas. Macias swings at it, and it's 2-0 immediately. And that is why he is the leading scorer right now for this team. Jose Macias almost haphazardly swings a foot at that cross from our goal scorer, Jacques. And Macias gets his 5th goal of the competition. And immediately Chivas goes from toe-to-toe with Chicago to up 2-0 in this one. Chicago now a lot of work to get back into this one. Don't forget they are 35-minute halves in this competition. If we are tied at the end of regulation, we go immediately to penalty kicks for an additional point. Macias there loops it to the back post. Nothing Orsic could do about that one. And now Hugo Jaquez has a goal and an assist in about 2 minutes of action. A back-breaking goal to concede there for the Fire. After looking very capable and confident to open up this one, Marquez with the fantastic goal-scoring chance that he hit the post on. And then Jaquez able to take advantage of a turnover in midfield to create a goal. Padua knocks it back to Krul. Plenty of time left for the Chicago team. They do fail to win the group and move in to the semifinals. Every team plays in 5 games at this tournament, so they'll have 2 more matchups here on Thursday and Saturday out on these fields as we move in on Thursday to the big stadium. The Wind whipping that ball through from Krul, just over the head of Hunter. We have 4 straight semifinals on MLSsoccer.com on Thursday in Toyota Stadium, and then 2 championship games on Saturday in Toyota Stadium. We'll be back here at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Central this afternoon with San Jose Villarreal in the championship division, the last game of the group stage of this tournament. Those 2 teams currently sitting in second place, trying to get through as either the best second place team or the champions of that division, as we have a foul called here. Looks like the trainer will come out. Brandon Artis, our head referee. His 2 fourth officials, Mike Barragan and Kristen Wadham. Our 4th official, Luis Gurdia. Looks like Christian Marquez taken down there. Marquez, the best goal-scoring chance of the game for the Fire. Rounding the goalkeeper and putting it off the post. Set piece coming here. It looks like David Portugal is the one who's standing over it. Portugal has options off to his left. A little bit far to shoot, especially with this win. You see his jersey coming from behind the opposing goal on the right side. He clips it into the middle, knocked away. Taco Weira's trying to keep it alive, and Chivas will counter. The win may be doing Chicago some favors here, pushing that one back all the way to the goalkeeper, and now Chivas the opportunity to push their lines up. Chivas one of 4 Mexican oppositions here for Major League Soccer. 3 clubs, Monterrey sending a team, as well as Chivas and Pumas. And then a Mexican youth international team is here in the championship division as well. A U16 squad preparing for next year's U17 World Cup for them, as Marquez looking for Hunter, and it's cut out there by Galindo. Through ball all the way to Macias. He has time to line it up. Orsic makes the save. Huge kick save for the Chicago goalkeeper. A second chance coming in. Addison Tate able to push it out, and Salmoran clears it. Once again, Kyle Orsic coming up massive in this first half for Chicago. It looked like Macias was going to walk that one in. Cold-blooded goal scorer that he is. And full credit to Arcia. She stands him up, goes down late at the last second, is able to get the right foot out and kick it away far enough that his team's able to clear. David Goss here on MLSsoccer.com with this Generation Adidas Cup matchup between Chicago Fire and Chivas Guadalajara. Chivas, of course, the one-time owner of Chivas USA in LA, as well as the biggest name in all of Mexican soccer, one of the biggest names around the world when it comes to the game. Adamson Tate able to spray this one out left. Pressure put on by Takawira. Cleared up the line and out of bounds there by Cortez. The goal scorer, Jacques. He's able to win a throw-in. Looking confident on that far right wing. It was Daniel Hernandez on this left wing, creating opportunities in the first 10 minutes. Jacques now in the second 10-15 minutes of this first half, making things happen. Hunter looking to hold the ball up a little bit, and he's able to earn a foul. Good work there from the forward Khalid Hunter. Khalid Hunter, one of the players on this team that plays with the Indiana Fire team. The Fire spread out their academy tentacles throughout that Midwest area around them. Take it now. Krul able to get it off his feet. Up to Portugal. Up the line now, Adamson Tate. Like a pull on his jersey, no call made. Krul over to cover, and he knocks it out. Krul, another one of those Indiana Fire players. Salmoron with the tackle, and the foul goals against him. Salmoron thought he got it clean. He's been an important player for this Fire team in this competition. The leading passer, 86% completed so far in this game, as well as the most final third entries. He's played a lot with the U17, U18 team, Salmoron has. Playing up a year, 8 starts in 9 competitions in development academy play with the U17, U18 team. Cross coming in now from Chivas. Down the middle, no one's able to get a touch to it. A dangerous set piece opportunity for Guadalajara on that one. Juan Perez, the right midfielder, taking care of that. Chicago will feel a little fortunate to see that one flash wide. The Fire, good offensive chances in the first 15 minutes of play. Struggling to get into that final third here in the last 15 minutes of action. One great opportunity for Marquez, as well as a good half chance for Khalid Hunter, who pulled his shot wide in the opening minutes. Marquez and Hunter putting on pressure on the back. Salmoron laying it all the way back. Calipari to Orsic. Orsic now under pressure immediately from Marcius. Chicago getting stuck with pressure on in midfield, choosing to take the safe option and play it back. But with this wind, it's so tough for the back line to really clear and change the point of attack. This one comes across the box. Adamson Tate able to play it along, and it'll go out for a corner kick now. The Fire here will be forced to defend as the big bodies. Sepulveda and Galinda coming forward, as does it looks like Torres and Perez. Hernandez to take the left-footed service. The outswinger, watch the wind, will pick this ball up. Does well to keep it low, but can't beat that first post. A second opportunity here for Chivas. The cross played in, the wind taking it on Arsic, and it goes out for a goal kick. No touch made by the goalkeeper. So a beautiful, sunny, windy day here. Winds up around 25 miles per hour. Temperature up in the mid-60s. Not a single cloud in the sky for this first of our two streams on MLSsoccer.com. We'll be bringing you San Jose, first La Liga opposition via Real. In the second, CS. Already a goal in this one, as does Jaquez have. Just about a minute apart. So these two teams going toe-to-toe to open competition over the first 15 minutes, and then Chivas exploding for two consecutive goals to break this game open. Neither team really creating any opportunities since then. Chivas now on the ball, the closing 5-6 minutes of this first 35-minute half. Handball easily will go against Adamson Tate there. Chicago once again will have to defend here. Now, if you think, as a lot of the coaches here today have said to me, the wind is that big of a factor, holding at 2-0 may not be the worst first half for Chicago. A third one you'd have to think would be a backbreaker just in terms of the mountain left to climb, whether you have the wind with you or against you. Free kick comes into the far post again, and that one flashes wide. Chivas with another dangerous ball whipped across the face of goal from this left wing. Arsic out on that one. Didn't get a touch to it. And probably fortunate to see that no one did. Chicago trying to play out of the back and giving up another free kick. Coach Segaras over to our right, talking to his back line. Chicago really calculated into this, try and play out of the back. They're trying to keep the ball on the ground and knock it around, but at some point you have to recognize the situation and adjust here with this wind and with the pressure Chivas has. Now another dangerous free kick. They just were inches away from a goal from a similar situation. This one coming in across the goal again, and it bounces all the way out and over behind us onto the Portland Timbers New England Revolution matchup. We will get you all of the scores from the first set of games that ended, as well as from the halftime scores from the games going on around us as we come out for second half action. A turnover here, a great opportunity again for Chivas. Hernandez lays it off. Macias with the shot, save made by Arsic. Another huge save for the Chicago Fire keeper. Fire struggling to get out of their own half now, just minutes left in this first half, clinging to try and keep it to a 2-0 lead. In these closing moments, Chivas is all over them right now, creating chance after chance. The Goats of Guadalajara putting on the pressure. They have been one of, if not the best teams in this tournament. And they're showing why. The low corner kick cleared away by Krul. Khalid Hunter gets a touch to it. knocked away, but back now to Hunter. Hunter losing possession out for a Chicago Fire throw-in. As much as you want to score a goal here for the Fire, making sure you don't concede in these closing minutes may be more important. Hunter on the battle over on that far side, losing out. The Generation Adidas Cup, of course, sponsored by Adidas. Adidas every bit a part of what is being built in the MLS academies and the MLS youth system. This tournament consisting of a lot of different pieces, including the opportunity for these players to go to the MLS first team game, FC Dallas versus Montreal on Saturday night. In the off days with no games, there has been coaching symposiums held, learning how to use the data that Opta brings in for these MLS clubs and academies, as well as different coaching philosophies from coaches in Chile, France, Spain in terms of scouting, player identification, working with kids of different sizes, different ages. A lot of interesting ideas being spread around throughout the MLS academies to try and continue every single day to improve this system, improve their ability to recognize, coach, improve, and support players. Calipari knocks it back. Calipari with some pressure on him is able to keep possession. Takawira with the layoff. Can't find his teammate. So we approach the 34th minute of play. Chivas looking to make it 3-0 here in the first half. The Fire looking to hold on if they can. Get the win in the second half. Get an opportunity to get into the halftime talk for a little bit. That shot flashing just wide. Everyone's standing and watching as Diego Hernandez's left-footed strike curled around that far post. Nothing Orsic could do, whether it was going in or out. Hernandez and the goal scorer, Jaquez, swapping wings here to close out this first half. And now you see the Fire going long off the goal kick. Portugal losing out on that battle. Adamson Tate, and he'll get knocked over there. Omar Beltran with that foul. As our head referee tries to keep the game moving. Cruel looking for the long switch to Takawira. Vitalis Takawira Jr., son of former Zimbabwean international Vitalis Takawira. Ball comes into the far post, and Portugal's volley goes back the other way, and that'll end the first half. So end-to-end action between these two teams. Christian Marquez hits the post for the Fire. Chivas Guadalajara goes back the other way, and they're able to take a 2-goal lead with back-to-back goals just a minute apart from Hugo Jaquez, and then he set up Jose Macias, the leading goal scorer in this competition for this Chivas team with 5 goals already. And Chivas right now leading and comfortable, heading into the locker room as we head to the second half of action here in the final group stage game of the Generation Adidas Cup Premier Competition. We'll be back in 10 minutes with all of your second half action here on MLSsoccer.com. Welcome back here to Field 4 at Toyota Soccer Center here in Frisco, Texas, for the second half of this final group stage game of the Generation Adidas Cup 2016 competition here. The Premier Division closing up. Chicago Fire trailing Chivas Guadalajara 2-0 coming out of the first half. Chivas now currently sitting first place in the group. If they win this game, they will move to 9 points in group stage competition. Chicago in second place now on 3 points. Orlando was tied with Chicago on 3 points. They're currently losing 2-0 to Seattle on the far field. So Chicago was somehow able to come back and either get a penalty kick win or a regulation win. They would move on as champions of the group. Seattle would move to a tie for second or potentially third place, depending on this result, with that 2-0 lead right now. And we'll get you up to date with all the other competitions. Chivas, 2 goals within a minute. Dominant offensively, you have to say, with the wind at their back. Tripling the amount of possession inside the box on Chicago in the first half, doubling the amount of final third entry passes. Chivas controlling play. The first 15 minutes was even. Back-to-back play, Christian Marquez putting a shot off the post for the Fire to try and take a lead after rounding the keeper. Chivas Lightning striking twice with 2 fantastic goals from Jaquez, and then setting up Macias, the leading goal scorer in this competition, with 5 goals here in the group stage. Sunny, not a cloud in the sky, mid-60s, but a wind that has gone up from 25 to now even more than 25 miles per hour. Coming across your screen from right to left. Great tackle there from Padua in open space. Or, excuse me, Solomon. Adam Solomon, older brother Joel, player at the University of Illinois, Chicago. Solomon playing with the USU 15 squad. I said putting up some fantastic passing numbers so far in this competition. Takawira lays that one back. And finally cleared out of danger for the Fire. It looks like it'll be a Chicago Fire throw in there for Michael Silvar. That one knocked on. Chicago trailing 2-0 at the end of the first half, but you have to say, with the way the win could be an advantage, that may not be such a bad result. Chicago needs to score that next goal to start to put on the pressure. 35-minute halves, so we played a 70 minutes and then stoppage time. If we are tied after regulation, both teams receive 1 point in the standings. We move to a penalty kick shootout for an additional point. That additional point, that additional point would give Chivas the win of the group no matter what, with the tie. So Chicago needs to win this game here in regulation. Most likely that additional point would give them second place in the group. Every team plays in 5 games at this tournament. The top group winners in each group move on to the semifinals, which we'll have here on MLSsoccer.com on Thursday. And then from there on, the matchups are set to allow teams to play teams that they won't normally play. They try and avoid putting teams up against each other from that point on who are in the same division in MLS qualifying or MLS Developmental Academy, to give them different looks and different challenges. Chivas going against the wind here, looking confident on the ball. The cross played in, dying in the middle of the box. Jaquez trying to get it under control. He's able to lay it off. An opportunity to turn and shoot here, and offsides called. Jose Perez with the layoff there, just offsides. In the first round of games, Atlético Paranense out of Curitiba, Brazil, defeated RSL 1-0 to take first place in that group. Pumas knocking off the Rapids 1-0 as well. And the Philadelphia Union beating FC Tokyo 2-1. That means Pumas wins that group. Currently behind us, the New England Revolution leading the Portland Timbers 1-0 as those teams battle for third place in that group. I already mentioned Seattle Sounders in this group beating Orlando 2-0. If all results hold, that would put all three MLS teams at 3 points, tied for second place, and Chivas Guadalajara up in first place. And then the big result, Sporting KC currently leading against Monterrey 2-0. KC and Monterrey have both gone undefeated in this competition, sitting at 6 points. So the winner of that game, whether in regulation or PKs, moves on to the next round, and KC trying to be the one MLS team potentially from the Premier Division that is able to get through. Sporting KC, a fantastic tournament so far. 4-0 winners in their first game, 3-1 winners in their second game. It's been a goal-scoring frenzy for Sporting KC. Macias doing work there on that far sideline. Jose Macias able to earn the set piece. First bodying off Calipari to win it, and then using his quick feet to earn the free kick right here on this right sideline. See if they have enough strength here from Galindo. Or he'll look to play it short. Galindo now on the second bite of it. Padua with the interception. Marquez turning away into space, trying to find a little bit of relief. Chicago not able to pick their head up so far in this second half in the attacking third and find some teammates. Portugal with the attempted layoff turned over. We saw a similar turnover lead to the first goal for Chivas. Hernandez trying to make it a second. He gets it stolen away. Salomon taken away from him in midfield now. Now Chivas running forward. And finally cleared by Chicago. Neither team able to bring the ball down. And you'll see that win will push almost all of those long balls over the top, straight back to the keeper. And it's probably why we've seen teams going against the wind actually have some really good passages of play. Castro able to knock it back. Sosa puts this one up in there, and it might come back for a corner kick. Sosa able to handle it, but it goes out for a corner kick, and you can see how strong that gust of wind is. Those are equipment also looking to blow away. Jose Sosa clearing it from his own end line, and that one comes all the way back for a corner kick. We'll see how Chicago handles this now. Can they find a way to play this ball in without having the wind take it out of control and get an opportunity? Chicago trying to cut down on this lead here in the opening minutes of the second half for a chance to go into the semifinals. To the far post, over the head, incredibly there, of Krul. I didn't think, wasn't quite sure Takawira would even be able to get the ball in the box, and yet cleared everyone in the end. And you see here, Sosa cannot believe what he's looking at. The ball straight up in the air and then curls all the way back and over his own end line and out of bounds. I don't know if I've ever seen anything like that, but then again, everything a little bit crazier and bigger in Texas. Takawira now, he's alone with three defenders around him, trying to find space to shoot. Vitalis Takawira gets to the end line, cross put in, touched by the goalkeeper, still alive. Solomon with the follow-up, and it's cleared off the line. The wind keeps this ball coming back in now. Solomon a second bite at it, looking for the cross, gets it to the feet of Marquez. Calipari floats this one into the far post, and it's over the top. Vitalis Takawira cutting apart this defense from the center of the field. Does a great job keeping three defenders at bay. Gets it across the face of goal off the fingertips of Sosa. And Solomon just couldn't get enough of a touch on it, following it up. Best chance of the second half for the Fire here. Just about 10 minutes in to second half action. Chivas will look to play out of the back. And Chicago are going to put on high pressure every opportunity that they get. This is why they set up in this 4-4-2 diamond, to try and push and pressure this Chivas team as they try and play out of the back. Silvar with the touch. Macias gets it under control. Out wide now to Hernandez. Calipari wins the ball, and it looks like a free kick. So the free kick now coming for the Fire. So we've made sure that everyone is okay. Joaquin Moreno, you see there, just on the side of your shot, the head coach for this Chivas Guadalajara side. Gonzalo Cigars. He is managing this Chicago Fire team. Sosa keeps it from going out of bounds. Could not pick it up outside the box. Chicago with the high pressure and the foul given away. The longer this half stretches on, we saw it in the first half. Chicago toe-to-toe looking comfortable in the first 15 minutes as the amount of time they had to keep possession in their own half wore on them. The inability to clear it with the wind. Chivas was able to get more and more opportunities with their high pressure. Chicago will look to copy that here in the second half. Clearance for Chivas. Able to save it there, or not. Their fourth official has his hand up. Marquez gets into the box, the left-footed cross blocked immediately. Marquez trying to stay on his feet, and then bodied off, and these two players face off right in front of us. Christian Marquez not happy at all with the physicality here from, it looked like, Gilberto Salpalvela, the center back for Chivas. And our head official now is going to talk to these two players. Brandon Artis, our head ref, trying to keep tempers down. We've seen very clean and calm play across all of the fields, great competition level. You see these international teams bring another level of intensity and aggression that the MLS teams have really learned to step up to as the tournament has rolled along. I have to say the second stretch of games, much better, much more even for these MLS oppositions than the first game. Teams flying in just the night before competition, getting their feet wet a little bit. Marquez is going to get a card here. Very little surprise after the talking to, immediately called for a foul just a minute later, and that textbook opportunity for the referee. So Christian Marquez, first player in the book. So Andrew Akindele coming on for the Chicago Fire. He's got 4 goals in league play and 7 starts. Looks like he's going to come in up top in place of Khalid Hunter. Hunter, a shot in the opening minutes, didn't really have many other looks. Akindele now looking to stay on sides for this cross from Adsom Tate. Marquez lays it off for Akindele immediately on the field, and he dribbles right into Sosa and can't get the shot away. A tough draw there from Akindele, getting a shooting opportunity on his first touch in the game. Couldn't get it out of his feet quick enough. As Khalid Hunter's afternoon is done. Adsom Tate coming forward in Chicago, continuing to create opportunities here in this second half. Looking the much stronger side here, especially with the wind at their back, the confidence coming out of the locker room, but they got to make it pay. They have to find a way to get at least the first goal here in second half competition. Looks like Sosa now up and ready. Andrew Akindele, one of those players on this team that went to Mexico City last summer with a U15 squad. Made it to the final of that competition in the Azteca Stadium. So a little bit of experience playing against Mexican opposition. It'll be a Chivas throw-in. Well, it looks like Portugal not in total agreement there on that far side. They finally move the throw-in back. Opening 15 minutes, very even game between these two teams. Chivas, after Marquez for the fire hit the post, Chivas sprang out and scored 2 goals in a matter of minutes to take a 2-0 lead and dominate the close of the first half into the halftime locker room. Opening up the second half with the win at their backs, Chicago Fire showing a lot more confidence, creating a few big goal-scoring chances. Takuira putting one across the face of goal that Solomon couldn't get enough power on his shot, and then Akindele just moments ago off the bench, a one-on-one with the keeper that Sosa was able to snuff out as well, as Kalapari goes down to the ground just in front of the Chivas bench, and it'll be a free kick here to Guadalajara. Chivas, or you could say one of two, the giants of Mexican soccer. Club America winning their 11th title last season, now equaling Chivas for most ever in Mexican history. Clear there from Silvar. Padua able to turn, gets it to the feet of Takuira. Takuira does well to beat the first man. Gets it to Akindele. Akindele trying to find Takuira again. He does. Vidalas Takuira making the run forward. Gets it to the feet of Portugal. Great work here from Chicago to work it from the back to the front. Shot comes, and just wide of that near post. Christian Marquez on the end of what was a 5 or 6 pass move for this Fire team. All started at the feet of Vidalas Takuira. Chicago looks to turn the screws here in this second half. Chicago now. Chivas will play short. We'll try and put pressure on. You can feel the wind whipping behind us. Really not an opportunity to go long in the air for Chivas. They have to play it out on the ground, and they do so expertly. Chivas move up to that middle line. Late foul called here. Cruel knocking over Macias off the ball behind the play. Sepulveda, the left center back who got into it a little bit with Marquez and had a talking to with the official already, floating that one up the field. Cross floated in, taken by the wind. Takuira trying to lay it off for Akindele. Well handled for Chivas. Galindo back to Sosa. Now Sepulveda with the turnover, chips up Akindele after the play. Akindele able to get away. He cuts between 2 defenders, puts it in for Takuira, and he can't get his first touchdown. And Sosa, fortunate to lay down on that one. Great high pressure there from Andrew Akindele off the bench to create a chance out of nothing for Chicago. Chicago now in the 54th minute. They're going to have to make one of these count to try and cut this lead in half. Marquez lays it off. Long shot coming in and taken easily by Sosa off the foot of Salmaran. Chicago now once again has Chivas in a corner. They put it out for a throw-in in a good area in that final third. Chivas able to win it away. Cruel with the header, but it goes over himself. Macias now trying to launch the counter. Can Chivas put the final nail in the coffin here? A shooting chance for Jaquez, and he puts it in the far post. Just like the first half, Chicago putting together offensive chances, and Guadalajara, a clinical counterattack, and it ends on the foot of Hugo Jaquez for his second goal of the game. A goal, 2 goals and an assist. This assist here going to the other goal scorer in Macias. Chivas Guadalajara may just have locked this one up. Mistake there from Chivas. Can Chicago keep their hopes alive? A goal needs to come quickly for them. They've created 3 or 4 great chances here in the second half. They've just not been able to get that touch, and then Chivas back the other way, showing their maturity and their experience, taking advantage of the one opportunity that they get. And that might be enough to lock up this game, and in so doing, lock up the group. Rasic, who was making save after save in the first half, hasn't had anything to do here in the second half, and was beaten on really the one opportunity of this second half for Chivas. So a free kick will go to Chicago here as Pato was taken down behind the play. Chivas Guadalajara, Club Deportivo Guadalajara leading Chicago Fire 3-0 here on Field 4. This is the final game of the group stage of the 2016 Generation Adidas Cup competition. We'll have another stream coming to you 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Central on MLSsoccer.com as San Jose hosts Villarreal, as those two teams try and find a way to get through to the next round. Both those teams sitting in second and third place, trying to pass Ude Chile and go to the semifinals of the championship division. This long ball over the top, Takawira chasing. That one's played out well behind us. Chicago starting it quickly again. Salmeron with the shot, and that one's blocked. Padua looking to keep it alive. He can't keep possession. Great work there from Rodriguez. Rodriguez spraying it out wide. Jaquez going for the hat trick here. He comes in down the left wing. Orsic takes him down, and they point to the spot. A penalty kick now coming for Chivas. Brandon Artis, our head official, following up the play. Orsic at the feet of Jaquez. And it goes down. A chance for Chivas now to make it 4-0 here as we come up to the 60th minute of play. Once again, another clinical counterattack. Jaquez and Hernandez on the 2 wings have been unstoppable so far in this one for the Fire, and they've been unstoppable in this tournament, really, for their entire opposition. Orlando falling here to this Chivas team 4-0 in the opening game. Seattle falling 3-1 in the second of the group stage games. It'll be Daniel Hernandez to take this one. Hernandez, a goal against Seattle, the 3rd goal, trying to make it his 2nd of the competition. And it's saved. So Orsic cleans it up, his own mess. He gets called for the foul, they point to the spot, and then the goalkeeper saves the penalty kick. A lifeline to Chicago here, trailing 3-0 with just about 10 minutes to play. A host of subs coming in for both teams as the Goats of Guadalajara are looking to close the group stage out with 3 straight wins. And if they can, lock up a semifinal appearance for themselves Pumas and Atletico Parinense have already qualified. Sporting KC going into the second half leading their group. And it looks like Chivas might be the team to join those three. Portugal does well on that far side to keep possession. Cross comes out, no touch, and it goes out for a goal kick. And we'll get those substitutions. You see the subs there as they make the change. Looks like David Portugal, the one coming off for Chicago. He comes off in place of Edson Murguia. Murguia very familiar with this Chivas opposition, going down and playing for Club Leon for a time. Murguia, bright young attacking star. Murguia immediately getting involved. He takes the right-footed shot. It's blocked in the box. Still alive. A second opportunity to shoot for Chicago, and they finally get the breakthrough. Christian Marquez has had numerous opportunities in this one. The shot from outside the box sneaks through the hands of Sosa, and in the 62nd minute, Chicago Fire with the breakthrough here. Still trailing 3-1, but they have a lifeline directly after that PK save. Substitutions made for both teams, changing things up a little bit. Rigoberto Ledesma as well coming on for Chivas. A huge moment there for Marquez. Chicago more than deserved the goal here in this second half. Potentially even as well in the first half, and they finally get it on that long shot. Chivas now will have to see this game out. If they do tie and go to penalty kicks, Chivas will lock up the group stage. Chivas would move to 7 points with a tie. Even a PK tie loss, they would still sit on 7, and the most Chicago could get is 5. We're going to see a yellow card here to our goal-scoring dynamo, Macias. Only the second yellow shown in the game. Chivas making a second substitution here, and they're just trying to fake us out. It was Juan De Leon who looked like ready to come on. You are allowed 5 substitutions in these games, but you're only allowed them in 3 separate stoppages. So you cannot make 5 single subs time and time again. That might be what Chivas is doing, getting ready, preparing multiple subs to come on at the same time. Only 2 subs so far for the Fire in this one. They've rotated their squad throughout, almost everyone. Probably had about 3 players, start all 3 games. That would be Cruel, as well as Takawira and Orsic in goal. They bring back their center back to take the goal kick to try and do something against this wind, as Sosa struggling in his distribution, but it goes out of bounds. So it looks like the sub now finally coming. And it will be De Leon. And smartly done there by Moreno, taking off Macias, who has a yellow card now. You don't want to risk your leading goal scorer as you head in to the semifinals with a second yellow card and a suspension. So De Leon will come on for the final, which should be about 7-8 minutes here. with extra time included, stoppage time. Chicago looking to keep it in the box now. Can they get themselves a second goal, put some pressure on for that result? It comes to Akindele in the middle of the box. He turns and shoots, and Sosa makes the save again. Jose Sosa has been huge in this game, especially in this second half. It's me, Johan Sosa, making a couple of massive saves and makes another one there. Akindele, since coming off the bench, has had 2 chances from right around the 6-yard box. Very calm to sidestep the defender, get himself some space, but just couldn't find either side of the keeper, and Sosa able to knock it down and beat the Chicago Fire players to the ball to clean it up. 3-1 here, Chivas leading the Fire. 65th minute of this 70-minute game. David Goss here on MLSsoccer.com. This stream of the final group stage game of the Premier Division here in the 2016 Generation Adidas Cup. Will bring the final game of the group stage completely, the championship division, in 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Later on, San Jose versus Villarreal. Marquez lays that one off. Marquis off the bench. His cross deflected and taken here by Sosa, who's in no rush to play the ball. Chicago has to put pressure on here. Marquez looking to pick up the ball. And I believe it's going to be a free kick to Chicago. So I guess we're calling a pass back there and a handball or an illegal touch by the goalkeeper from Sosa. It looked like he picked it up off his own touch, but both our assistant referee and our head official artist right there. So a chance here for Chicago. Takawira with the set piece. Clips it into the middle of the box. Headed down by Krul. Still alive in the box and cleared eventually by Chivas. A tight angle there. Not very many options. Takawira turning by the first man. Puts the cross in and it floats over the back of the goal. Chivas once again able to clean up a messy situation in their own box and clear the ball. Galindo now looking to take it quickly. Will walk over it as the wind continues to rip and roar here. Coming from behind that Chicago Fire goal. Keeping this Chivas team penned in this second half. Chivas dominating possession numbers, attacking numbers in the first half. All of those numbers completely in favor of Chicago here in the second half. But the one that matters, the scoreline. Chivas won the first half with the wind at their back, 2-0. Chicago splitting this second half. So far, 1-1. Takawira has been a bright spot offensively. Fidelis Takawira, son of Digital Takawira. An MLS original with the Kansas City Wizards in 1996. Played 4 years there. A Zimbabwean international. A long shot coming in here and over the top of everything as we come up to these final few minutes here. Chivas looking to hold on and go perfect in the group stage to move into the next round. Cleared away. And he'll go out for another Chicago throw-in. Free kick called in favor of Chicago. They look to play quickly. Good job there from Hernandez as the ball is rolling. The wind blew it. Rodriguez, though, did a good job stepping in front of the play. Takawira was wide open down the wing looking for the early ball. Padua to take. He's got numbers in front of him, plays it down the middle of the field. No one gets a touch to it. Chivas able to clear. Takawira trying to get in on goal here. And Galindo holds off Fidelis. And Sosa able to clean it up. Krul gets the touch to it. Padua now. Down the right wing, Cortez. And he does the smart thing and takes it to the corner here as we enter stoppage time. Our head official, Brendan Artis, has that official time on his watch. Steal made. Chicago trying to get out of their own half. Padua able to win the free kick. Some words between him and Cortez afterwards. And it'll be, a Chivas free kick. My apologies. Closing minutes of this one. These two teams came out. Great matchup in the first opening minutes. Chicago Fire, Christian Marquez, who has the lone goal for them in this one, hit the post early on. Could have put his team up 1-0. Chivas goes back the other way and scores goals a minute apart. Jaquez with his first, and then setting up Macias for the second goal. Macias with his 5th goal of the competition for this Chivas team. The leading goal scorer in the tournament so far is Diego Padilla comes on. Chicago held on, you have to say, to get to halftime at 2-0. Orsic, the goalie, making big save after big save. Chicago came out in the second half with the wind at their backs, dominating play, creating a few great opportunities, but it was Johan Sosa's turn to stand on his head, making big save after big save. And then Chivas was able to put the nail in the coffin, a counterattack similar to the goal in the first half for Jaquez. He was able to make it 3-1. Chicago got a goal, a long shot from Christian Marquez. That snuck under the hands of Sosa to make it 3-1. And we are still standing at that. Orsic with a penalty kick save against Hernandez for Chicago. And Sosa, a couple big saves, including 2 right at the feet of Akindele to keep their team alive. We'll get you all of the results coming out of this group stage of the Premier Division for the next broadcast. If you go to MLSsoccer.com, you can see updated fixtures, results, and standings. The next game here at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Central. The one group that still needs to be decided is the Sporting KC Monterrey division, and that game has just gone to penalty kicks at 2-2. So that'll do it for us here. Chivas, Guadalajara, a perfect group stage for them. 4-0 winners in the first game, 3-1 winners over Seattle, and now 3-1 winners here against Chicago. A great fight from the Chicago Fire, going toe-to-toe with this opposition. A lot of goal-scoring opportunities that just didn't go in for them here in the second half. Just the lone goal to Christian Marquez. But for the Fire and for Chivas, a great matchup here on Field 4 for our first stream of the day. Stick to MLSsoccer.com for all of your results, and we'll come back here 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, San Jose, Villarreal. For David Goss and everyone in our broadcast, thanks so much for joining us here this afternoon. And don't forget to follow back with us on MLSsoccer.com.